the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
Back to that great offense that we saw in 2022, it just looks like, and I think you might have been able to do that if Nico had stuck around. Like, I think he would have taken a step and developed. I think he would have been better than last year. I don't know if he could have gotten to Hendon Hooker 2022 level, but like he would have been a better player just by virtue of his experience this year. But we'll never know. And so we're back in the kind of the same boat we were last year with an inexperienced QB. But I think Heupel is smart enough to play to his strengths. Run the ball, don't turn it over, let your defense carry you, and we can win 9 or 10 games that way this year, depending on how good that quarterback play is.
I have all the toss-up games. Oklahoma at home, Georgia at home, Bama on the road, Florida on the road. If you only can guarantee one to win next year, Russell Smith, you get one. What's the one guarantee that you take?
The one that I want to win?
That would be the most satisfying to Russell Smith on Saturday.
You give me Oklahoma, Georgia, and Alabama?
And Florida. But you only get one.
Oh, my God. I mean, I think you could make excellent arguments for all of them. My heart, my heart says Georgia. My brain says Florida. Right? If you beat Georgia at home and you start 3-0, 4-0, whatever you are going into the Bama game, like we're going to be at that point, it would be disappointing to lose those other games, especially against Florida. But losing to Florida just sucks. It always has. And
especially at Florida, because the way they lose at Florida is just so much worse than when they lose at home.
Yeah, they rub your face in it. They're not any good. There's a pretty good chance we'll be playing an interim coach down there.
We might disagree here. I think Florida's a playoff team this year.
Oh, wow. Really? I'm going to have to
DJ Lagway, if he's healthy, they're scary, man. 6-1 as a starter. They were leading in the only game he lost when he went out against Georgia. Lagway's, I don't want this to be true, Russell. I hate that this is the case, but DJ Lagway is legit. Like DJ Lagway's, he's a dude.
He's a dude. Anthony Richardson was a dude, and
I think Lagway's and Anthony Richardson was one Hail Mary away from beating Tennessee in Neyland in 22. I was in that building. That was one of those where Tennessee fans. Were you in the building for that game?
I screamed like a little girl when they recovered that onside kick and the guys running with it down the sideline. Like my mind just stopped for a minute, and I didn't realize that you couldn't advance the kick because it's Florida, and Florida makes me crazy. And like I just screamed when I saw him rocketing down the sideline. I was like, "Oh my God, we just lost!" And then like you had to sweat out a couple more plays. Oh, it was terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying.
There was a gator, like a floating gator in our section. Second quarter, fans were just so confident, and there were some Florida fans in our section, and they were just giving them hell, man. Like just giving them hell. And I'm like, what? Like this feels insane. Are we in the Twilight Zone? What do you think, y'all? Like, I don't care if Tennessee's up 4 touchdowns going to the half. This game, until it winds down to 0-0 against Florida, the confidence level, no matter what, like I was a believer in that 22 offense. I was not a believer that until that game got to 0-0-0, that Tennessee was going to win that game until the and it felt like you could feel how tense it was getting even last year, like it was getting increasingly tense. And if Graham Mertz doesn't get knocked out of that game, are we sure Tennessee wins that one too? Like, I don't know.
Well, we blew them out in 1990 when I was 10 years old, 45-3. And then we won decisively in a rain game in 92. Other than that, like we have not beaten them decisively in over 30 years.
Yeah.
So it's like all those games are going to go down to the wire. They're not over till they're over. It feels like you have to beat them 3 times. Sometimes there's always bad calls that go against you. Just all crazy stuff. So I don't know how anybody in their right mind could sit here and say, yeah, I expect Tennessee to win in the Swamp at the end of the season. But that would probably be the most satisfying one. I think I would put Oklahoma low down that list. Alabama and Florida would obviously be fun to beat them anytime. It's been a while since we've beaten Georgia. Hard to expect a win at Alabama right now from where I sit. But Florida, just losing to Florida, it sucks, man. It hurts. It's never fun.
Well, and the Florida part might be a double whammy because you would beat Florida and then you're probably a playoff team. You win at Florida, I think Tennessee's in the college football playoff next year. If they win in Gainesville, I think with the way the schedule is set up, they will probably have 2 losses going into the Florida game, is my guess.
Tennessee?
And if you beat I think Tennessee will have 2 losses going into that game. And if they do, you beat Florida, then you're in. So it's a kind of a play-in game for Tennessee if they were able to do that. And the last time they won in Gainesville was actually in November when the game got moved because of 9/11.
You're assuming no stub your toe losses to Mississippi State or Arkansas.
Mississippi State is just so much worse than Arkansas was a year ago. I predicted on this podcast. I got so much grief from friend of the program, Jack Foster, Ryan Shumpert, and Ethan Stone, where all summer I was like, Arkansas is the game. Like Tennessee's got a terrible history with Arkansas, not just in baseball, just a terrible history in football. Like we all remember the fumble in the 90s, but that Tennessee, Arkansas, not a lot. It's not the cleanest, like, oh, Tennessee just owns Arkansas in football. And I just didn't like it. Didn't like the spot it was in. Didn't love the feeling there. Taylor Green was the kind of quarterback that gives Tennessee problems in particular. And it was just a disgusting game. Like that was a gross game. And I want to wipe it from my memory, especially just how they were able to control the ball like they're Kentucky the whole first half. And Tennessee, like that was the Tennessee specials when they just cannot get off the field on 3rd and 5. Like just brutal stuff.
Ross running into the kicker and then letting that punt roll that cost us like 20 yards of field position.
Tennessee being so good against the run and then just giving up 2 backbreaking long runs to the true freshman who was like a heavy Tennessee lean before he committed late, Braylon Russell. And those 2 big runs to put them in field goal range are like, oh, this is just twist the knife. This is terrible.
Trouble when the quarterback got hurt and the freshman comes in there. You're like, this just does not feel right.
None of it felt good.
This feels
I'll
bad.
say though, to me, it's Georgia. Like Tennessee beating Georgia early and putting Georgia on the ropes when they still have Texas, Ole Miss, and Alabama all still to go at home at Auburn. That would be so nice because Georgia fans, let me tell you, Russell, as someone who's been in the building and has a lot of Georgia fans in his life, to be able to be like, man, we did it without Nico. Like Tennessee just going over there and just beating Georgia at home it'd be nice. It'd be like, it'd be a Star Wars moment, defeating the Death Star, because that's the new Death Star. If you beat Georgia, it'd be nice. I'd feel really good for a while. I don't even care what happens the rest of the year. Tennessee beats Georgia at home, and I get to leave Neyland Stadium with a smile on my face.
So that's yours of the 4 swing games. You're going with the Georgia game.
Yeah, I think I'm going Georgia. Georgia would just be nice. Those fans, they act like they're Alabama now, and it's like Bama got a decade plus of this, and you're just I understand the back-to-back, that's big, but I just it's too much confidence. It's too much like we're the best. We run this sport now, and getting upset if someone says Texas is now the leader of the SEC.
You might be selling me. I might be ready to come over and join you, but it's been a while since we've beaten them. Their fans are obnoxious. All the fans are obnoxious, though, man. Like Bama fans are obnoxious. Oklahoma, I'll sit here and say, Oklahoma fans aren't too bad. That wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
Can you imagine those people walking out of our place with the Boomer Sooner chants and all that stuff going on? Oh, man, that would be obnoxious.
Oh, 100%. Final 2 for you. Favorite offseason coaching edition for Vol football for you? Because I think this is an under-talked about part of what Hype will.
Nicely done, nephew. The Chase Thomas podcast. Hell yeah.